Zamorak, Lord of Chaos, is now a boss in RuneScape as of July 4th, 2022. Zamorak drops quite a few uniques. Let's go over the most common ones, which are his ability codexes. He drops a Codex of Lost Knowledge, which is used to create the greater versions of Sunshine or Death Swiftness ultimate abilities. This upgrade allows the ultimates to last for a total of 63 ticks, which is the same amount of time they would last with planted feet, but with the benefit of getting the passive bleed damage. The next ability is a melee-focused ability called Chaos Roar. Chaos Roar does a small amount of damage, but the next ability you use does double damage. Along with those abilities, he drops tier 100 melee power armor, with the defensive stats of tier 75, which is the highest power armor to ever exist in the game. So imagine Bandos, but on crack. Vestments has a set effect of Herald of Chaos when worn with other parts of the set. Two pieces regenerate 15% adrenaline over 18 seconds after an ultimate. If the effect is already active, instantly regenerate 20% adrenaline. Three pieces extends Berserk's duration by 6 seconds, which is about 30% longer than normal. Four pieces increases maximum adrenaline by 20. And last but not least are the insanely expensive bow pieces. The top, bottom, and bowstring, all used to create the new tier 95 bow called Bow of the Lost Guardian, which is currently going for about 10 bill. Because I don't understand the full effect of the bow and don't have one currently, I'm just going to read what the wiki says about the bow. So the passive effect is called Perfect Equilibrium. For each hit, the player gains a stack of Perfect Equilibrium. Once 8 stacks have been reached, a single attack is launched, clearing the number of stacks. This attack deals a sum of 8 to 14% ability damage and 35 to 60% of that damage from the attack that triggers this effect. It is able to land as a critical hit, as well as consume and apply arrow effects, such as the effects of Elder God arrows. The effect from Perfect Equilibrium does not provide a stack towards the next hit. The special attack of the bow, balanced by force, allows the player for 30 seconds to reduce the number of stacks required to trigger the effect to 4. In addition, an attack is launched for 175% to 375 ability damage when used. If the player has 3 or more stacks for Perfect Equilibrium when activating the special attack, their attack released with balance by force will trigger the hit of the passive effect. Balance by force has no cooldown, so the effect can be renewed again even if the player is still benefiting from the bow's special attack. The special attack is intended to be used with the bows equipped instead of cast through the use of Essence of Finality. The drop rates of these items are not defined as of making this video, but we do know is Zamorak has rather good normal drops along with its unique drop table. It is possible to get all rare drops at any Enrage. So with that being said, here's loot from 10 hours of Zamorak, Lord of Chaos at 99% Enrage. Why 99% Enrage? So I tried a few different methods over the 10 hours. Method 1 consisted of a variation of the best mage setup I could think of, swapping out familiar auras and scrimshaws. On the screen you will see my presets that I used throughout those 8 hours. On the left is going to have what I started out with, and then the two on the right were what had the best results. The middle one is what I'd use long term, as it just has a lot lower cost per hour to use, as Scrimshaw of Elements is a lot cheaper than a Grimoire, which Grimoire is around 9 to 10 mil to use per hour, and both can get 8 kills an hour with. So I saw no difference between the two. I'd say if you're going for a PB, Grimoire is obviously going to be better long term, but Elements is way, 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 way cheaper. Method 2 was using the same gear and setup as Method 1, but was duo. Uh, this got around 9 kills an hour for the single hour I did. I just did it mainly to see the difference between solo and duo, and then proceeded to do the rest of the 10 hours in solo. The next methods are kind of part of a segment I want to call Why Did I Do This? First of these methods was a setup that costs less than 100 mil. This turned out to be a lot better than what I originally thought it would. I did this for 30 minutes, getting 2 kills with some change, and I'm pretty sure you could average 5 kills an hour with it. And oh boy, the next 30 minutes of this hour turned into 45 minutes because I could not accept defeat. This 45 minutes was me trying to kill Zamorak, Lord of fucking Chaos, with Legacy at 99%. If you're unaware of a few of Zamorak's mechanics, this may not seem that bad, but unknown to me, Legacy has no way to stun Zamorak, which becomes a huge issue as he has a core mechanic that you need to stun him to reduce the damage before he hits you for a 25k typeless hit. This took me some theory crafting going into utilizing Disruption Shield and Shield Dome in a very specific order of pads, and not using Vitality Pod at the wrong time, as it has a rather long cooldown and you can get hit by 2 of these mechanics close enough together to where you can't Vitality Pod it. And before anyone says, I did try Ice Barrage, tried a Whip Spec, I tried Dragon Spearing, all these would not stun him out of the mechanics, so you're just kind of screwed. But on attempt number 4, I did manage to kill him, using very minimal food actually, but man, it took so long. It was 18 minutes of just full of self-doubt and unhappy thoughts. I will link below full kill examples of all these methods, so you can see what my typical kills look like versus the legacy kill if you wanted, and versus the noob setup, where it actually wasn't that bad. In the 10 hours, I managed to kill him 69 times, giggity, and 60 being from solos and 9 being from an hour of duo I did. In those 69 kills, I got 2 rare drops, the first being the Roar of Chaos Codex at 48 KC, and the Boss Pet at 55 KC. So I did not get super lucky, but Zamorak does have some amazing normal loot. In total, I made 321 mil in normal drops, with the highest valued common items being Onyxes, Alchemical Salvage, and Onyx/Hydrix bolt tips. You do also get extra common loot from the witches, which are required to kill him every time you fight Zamorak, so that loot is also included in this price check. So in normal loot, I made about 4.65 mil a kill, with the Codex drop included, which sold for 225 mil. It would push the total loot to 547 mil, averaging nearly 8 mil a kill, but not quite, just a little bit shy at 7.92 mil a kill. So with those numbers, you can kind of work out a GP an hour based on how many kills you can get an hour. So in my case, my GP an hour, not including the cost of supplies and generic cost of PVM right now, at 7 kills an hour was about 32.5 mil in commons, and if you include Codex, my average was 55.5 mil an hour. With my noob gear, I averaged 5 kills an hour, which would come out to 23.25 mil an hour without uniques, and with uniques, it's almost 40 mil an hour, which in all fairness isn't that bad. And Legacy, man, I don't want to talk about it, but it is possible to get 3 kills an hour with Legacy. But if you take into account how much I was spending an hour on supplies, due to the cost of using magic right now with the Staff of Armadil, and cost of blood runes right now, it dramatically changes the GP an hour here. My normal setup cost about 10 mil an hour in upkeep, 6 mil of that solely from the cost of runes right now, as again, blood runes are insane. About 4 mil comes from other costs, such as familiars, vuln bombs, armor, and EOF upkeep, and other generic supplies like food and brews. That would bring down the GP an hour to about 22.5 mil, or with the unique, 45.5 mil. With the noob setup, upkeep was about 5 mil an hour, So that would bring down the GP to about 18 mil or 35 mil, depending if you're counting uniques or not. In conclusion, I think Zamorak is an okay boss. It's definitely not the best, but I think it's about middle of the pack at 30 to 40 mil an hour with no rares. If you get a rare, I think it has the ability to be one of the best, specifically a bow piece, which would skyrocket the GP an hour to over 100 mil. If you guys have any feedback on this video and made it this far, please leave a comment below on anything that I can improve to make these videos better and more insightful. And yep, see you guys.